Of all the scams out there cleverly designed to take your money, the most common by far in our state right now are the promises to help you rewrite your home mortgage and lower your monthly payment. That's why state lawmakers set out to crack down on those businesses earlier this year. As we showed you last night, the law they came up with was influenced heavily by the very people it is supposed to police. Tonight, more questions about who's calling the shots here and whether anyone is looking out for you.
If you don't crack down on those folks you're regulating who are crossing the line, ripping people off, then you're not doing your job.
Assembly Bill 152 was supposed to be that crackdown on the loan modification industry. The big consumer protections forcing companies in the business to get a state license, pass a background check, and post a $75,000 surety bond, so customers would have some way to get their money back if a company violated the law. Enforcing those rules would be up to the commissioner of the State Division of Mortgage Lending, Joseph Waltuck, and there were doubts from the get-go about how tough his enforcement would be.
He used to be the lawyer for a large failed predatory lender. So I haven't been a big fan of his because I don't think he takes his job of protecting the public seriously.
The industry got a buffer right off the bat. A welcome letter went out August 31st, putting loan mod and foreclosure consultants on notice. Post your bond by October 1st. In the meantime, they could continue to do business as usual. As that day approached, we had Elizabeth Daniels, spokesperson for the Nevada Division of Mortgage Lending, live on News 3, talking about the strict deadline.
Yes, they have until October 1st to show that they have posted the appropriate bond, and as of today, none of them have done that, so they have roughly a day or so to get that documentation into the Division of Mortgage Lending in order to show that they are authorized to do business providing loan mod and foreclosure consultant services.
But 2 hours later, that changed. According to an email the Saving You Money team got from Mandy Peacock of AAA Home Rescuers. She spent days in Carson City pushing for and getting major changes to AB 152 that benefited her business.
I would say conservatively that we amended about 50% of it.
And it appears Peacock's hotline to the power players may not have shut off when the legislative session ended. Her email informed us that the bond deadline has a 30-day grace period, per the Commissioner of Mortgage Lending, Joseph Waltuck. And sure enough, that evening, Commissioner Waltuck announced that a grace period was in place. The next day, the deadline that seemed set in stone just 24 hours earlier didn't seem like that big of a deal.
Things changed rapidly.
Okay.
That's the real issue.
Right.
And you know, the other side of the coin is we don't want to put anybody out of business if we don't have to. That's not what we're here for.
In fact, that grace period may have actually protected some companies, allowing them to operate for another 30 days and delaying action from the Attorney General's office.
We're aware of some companies that have applied for registration that we have received numerous complaints against. So again, just because a company is registered does not mean that they're operating free of fraud.
Since we first heard about the grace period in that email from Mandy Peacock, we had to ask the commissioner, did she call him to push for the change?
Actually, no. To my knowledge, she didn't.
Curious, because that's not how Peacock remembers it.
Well, yeah, I called Commissioner Waltuck at home and I said, it was on the 30th or the 29th, I'm like, we're figuring out how we're going to do this, so is the first it?
When you hear allegations that all of a sudden there's grace periods being issued to the law when there's no such thing, and that those he regulates are calling him at home to say, please, let's do a grace period on the law, what about the public? What about those being ripped off? Can they have his home phone number too?
Okay, that grace period is coming to an end. The new deadline is Monday. All companies must have their bond in place and be able to prove it or risk being shut down. We're assured by the Mortgage Lending Division that this time around there will be no more grace periods for any reason. So tune in here Monday at 5. We'll let you know how many of those loan mod companies will be in business on Tuesday.